Can you imagine an enemy ship lying in the Shetland Voe and being supplied and assisted by the local landowner, who was also an official? That would be an astonishing incident at any time in history, but it did happen. In October 1757, Sir Andrew Mitchell of West Shore, Scalwa, Admiralty Deputy in Shetland, wrote a letter to John Bruce Stewart of Simbister, Walser, asking for information regarding the event. He states that he had received a letter from William Chambers, Collector of Customs, and factor to the Earl of Morton, stating that a French man of war of 60 guns with 500 men aboard had been brought into Vidlin Voe in distress, without either mast, yard, or bowsprit. He states that the, quote, accounts may be very well exaggerated, but he wishes to get best information so that proper notice be given by the first fair wind to the Commander-in-Chief of the King's ships in Scotland, so that appropriate action might be taken. It is a pity that the reply to this letter has not apparently survived, because it seems likely that John Bruce Stewart would have had some little difficulty explaining why he had helped the enemy. The rumours that the Collector of Customs had heard were substantially correct. A ship of the enemy had been towed into Vidlin Voe, reputedly by local boats. She was in distress, as described above, and more than that, she was very short of food and water. The ship was the Marshal de Belleisle, commanded by Captain John Bart Thoreau. She was a privateer and had been patrolling between Norway and Britain and to look out for British shipping. She had been caught in a severe gale and was lucky to have survived. So badly had she been battered, she was glad to find shelter even in an enemy port. It seems likely that Captain Thoreau had calculated that he would not find any force in Shetland capable of standing up to his 500 men. A letter survives written by Captain Thoreau to John Stuart Bruce, Simbister as he is sometimes called, explaining his need for food and clothes. It states, "Sir, I have occasion for some beeves, sheep, bread, meal, and other trifles, and I would be obliged if you and your people supply me. If you do so in a friendly manner, I will pay you the price you expect, but if you refuse, you can take it. I will furnish myself according to the rules of war. I am in hope of your friendly compliance and assistance." This letter is dated 10th September 1775. This did not leave Simbister much choice in the matter, and sufficient stores to satisfy Captain Thoreau were forthcoming. He, Simbister, received payment in the form of bills drawn upon a merchant in neutral Holland, where John Bruce Stewart was well acquainted. However, for some reason, all the money was not forthcoming. Apparently, this was not held to be the fault of Captain Thoreau, because there are records describing him as an honourable man, and merciful to his prisoners, and held in respect even by his enemies. In return for his help, Simbister had seemingly put the bite on Captain Thoreau for a few bottles of the hard stuff, no doubt unbeknown to Controller of Customs Chambers. For another communication to Simbister states, "Sir, I would be much obliged if you could excuse me parting with any more, and not the word more, any more wine or brandy, as in Norway they will be necessary for my ship's company, and I have not a very considerable stock. I would be obliged if you can get your bills ready, for I would sail tomorrow. Infinitely obliged for your assistance." Captain Thoreau also provided Simbister with a letter, certifying that he, Captain Thoreau, had received all possible help and courtesy from Master John Bruce Stewart, having put in a dismasted and desperate plight, and if any French person call at the islands, to help and to exercise none of the rights authorised in such cases by war, because of the services he had received. About 5 years later, we hear of Captain Thoreau's ship Marshal de Belleisle, along with 3 other ships, La Brandy, La Trepiscore, and La Amenarth, being involved in a raid in Carrickfergus, Ireland. Subsequently, Captain Thoreau met his death in action with a British squadron. This took place near the Mull of Galway. So ended a remarkable person and an equally remarkable incident.